No more silence. Stop. Not one more bomb that shatters the tranquility of life, demolishes a safe and happy home. That decimates even a modicum of well-being and bewilders the human and draws them closer to the brink of insanity. How do humans allow themselves, having been given a sense of false moral justification, to bomb our own kind, thinking furtively that their pain is not our pain, their suffering is not like our suffering, their sorrow is not like our sorrow, and their tears do not match the warmth of our tears? How do we plunge ourselves into the abyss of this irrational and indifferent thought? It was someone who said that it is not the greatest of crimes to hate people, but to be indifferent to them. As a free society, do we aver our beliefs that humans should be distinguished and the objects of adoration, or held in contempt based solely on the color of their passports, on the pigmentations of their skin, or which citizenship they may possess? In time not long ago, people were subjugated to cruel, demeaning, and heartless acts which made them feel unloved, uncared for, and most of all, empty, powerless. Societies came to their senses after marring the lives of millions of people for hundreds of years to say never again. Slavery, subjugation, and submissiveness of other human beings based on the color of their skin, the wideness of their noses, and the thickness of their accents. The Holy Quran states, the most honored of you in the sight of God is the one who is most righteous. This verse eradicates any notion of superiority of one human being over another based on any material consideration or any class status, but rather it honors the one who is most righteous in the sight of God. This is a solution to racism, because one cannot buy righteousness. It has to be cultivated and worked upon, not handed to anyone based on preference or lineage. Have we forgotten our past and all the crimes that took place, rendering mankind speechless as to how far a human being can fall from grace and perpetrate unheard atrocities on its own kind? In these times, we pontificate the loftiness of democracy and render it void of meaning, a vacuous statement to the ones who are supposed to receive enlightenment by a 20,000-pound bomb that does not discriminate between cement and flesh, between steel and bones, and between a surgical strike and a smile of a child. How sick have we become? Where are the spiritual doctors? How far have we fallen as humans that we cannot fathom the feelings and natural sensitivities of our own kind? Everyone on earth thinks that they will live forever and somehow forget that life is but a number of days, and that days that pass, the number decreases, the life and life becomes shorter and shorter. Those who want to amass more than they will ever need to use should know that as each day passes, that there are fewer days to spend the wealth at hand, and maybe much more reckoning in the days to come. Is it not stated that the one who has more shall have more accountability? Bombs do not further the cause of a free society, nor do they instill the love of democracy and freedom. By bombs, we have killed millions of people to make sure that they know the word democracy in its fullest capacity and all of its ramifications. The poor, the haggard, the weary might comprehend democracy to mean death of their loved ones, destruction of their homes, usurpation of their lands and resources, and most of all, democracy may mean to the downtrodden people a total disregard of their human dignity and worth of life. Democracy cannot be elevated by crude and savage bombs or polished by prepared speeches to mesmerize the masses, but perchance, if democracy and not hypocrisy was truly intended, then maybe I suggest that we start by sincere dialogue, sending loving teachers rather than angry troops, giving a genuine respect rather than empty promises, and most of all, a hand up rather than hands up. And more, no more bullets. How many more shall die for nothing other than someone's avarice, greed, and thirst for power? A poisonous bullet that penetrates the flesh of a human, leaving him or her lifeless at best, crippled for life. What would you do if you were the victim of this shiny bullet? Having done nothing to be shot except that you were a helpless victim in a wrong time, wrong place, wrong reason. Would you grow in forgiveness or revel in bitterness? When one is not under the threat of bombs and bullets, it might be easy to watch the evening news while eating a favorite meal without flinching at these horrid and despicable injustices carried out in front of our very eyes. And of course, the media spin would be that we are defending freedom and advancing the cause of democracy and freedom. Have you ever seen a bullet pierce the flesh of a human? Ask yourself this question. Have you seen a child's soft and heart-wrenching tears like the dew on roses when she loses her beloved father? One moment she could be in a loving embrace, feeling joyful of the furtive moments with her beloved father, and the next, because of a shiny bullet made by people who bring good things to life, sees her beloved father carried to his grave in a casket. This marks the beginning of her bitter years to come, loss of tenderness of her dad, and the embrace of an uncertain future. Should this girl, faceless and nameless and countless like her, never be given care because she is of a different soil, of a different pigmentation of skin, that she holds a different accent, that she has no passport? The story might be reported in our free media if it is convenient to help the spin. If not, then this girl does not exist, nor does her heart-wrenching tragedy. We continue to pay more for lawn care than human care. Someone in Africa eats a cookie made from mud, oil, and flour, and yet we live as though we are owners of our destiny, and somehow we have made it because of our own hard work. And those that suffer, they are just not smart enough. We have become so self-wrapped, consumed by our own self-importance. We should stop our investments in apparatuses that kill and maim human beings. Rather, we should invest in homes and humanity. We, the people of a free society, are slowly losing our freedom in the name of a nebulous and concocted enemy, all the while under the guise of keeping us safe and secure. It was Benjamin Franklin that once stated to this effect, that one who forgoes their civil liberties in the name of security is not deserving of either. We can no longer as human beings stay silent, and we shall say no more to killing of innocent human beings and destruction of their property. To keep silent, dumb and ambivalent to human suffering is a moral crime. Yes, we want freedom for all, but not by the deaths of many. We want neither bombs nor bullets. A better world for all must be sought before the truculence, the belligerence, and the viciousness of greed of a few draws us closer to the collapse of civilization. So let it be known that I have written and I stand in solidarity with my human brothers and sisters to restore our common dignity and return us back to being and acting and caring like humans. May God Almighty bless us, guide us, protect us, and rid us of these tyrants everywhere. Ameen.